Well, hello there, how is everyone? I hope you're all well. It's still Tuesday. Yes, it's still Tuesday. It's been a long day today. Been a long day. But the sun is shining here in the beautiful, beautiful UK. And even though the sun is shining, it is still about 14, 15 degrees when you take wind factor into consideration. So this summer has been a well and truly done write-off. Well and truly done write-off. I think that's English, or I've just made that up as well. But look, I'm out of here in a few days, back to Turkey, back to try and finish off my ankles and well and truly burn my feet off. Anyway, with that being said, let's get straight into the meat and potatoes as we talk about Rex Heuermann and the Gilgo Beach Murders. And look, a lot of you have been, I'm not going to say harassing is the wrong word to use. You've been asking politely, in capital letters, do this case, speak about this case. And I know some of you are fed up of the Idaho 4 case, and we did talk about the Idaho 4 case earlier, but a different Idaho 4 case. So if you didn't see that, go and look at it, because it's video 2 of 2. Done that a little bit different today. So anyway, this case, Rex is the guy who they believe is this serial killer who's been operating for years. There currently seems to be 11 victims, with now an 8th victim finally being identified. And the thing that I find really interesting in this, and look, I'm just starting to dip my toes in this case, so I'm going to be reading, I'm going to be looking into it, and as time progresses, we will be talking more about it. But I just want to give my initial thoughts, because obviously, in order to be fair, we have to kind of say innocent until proven guilty, and this Rex guy hasn't been proven guilty, so there is a chance that he's not involved. From what I can see from the start, it's not looking great for him, but he's not been proven to be the person, and I feel that there's some things that just don't sit right with me, and that is that, for a start off, why haven't law enforcement, as far as I can see and as far as I'm aware, his wife hasn't really been spoken to, and nor has his children. And people keep saying it's children like they're toddlers when they're in fact in their 30s. So it just seems odd to me that they've not hauled the family in, all of them, as many as you can get hold of, and absolutely grilled them. Because that's what I would do. We see in so many situations, so many cases, whether it be cases like this, or even cases like the Summer Wells case, or the Michael Vaughan case even, these style of cases where you've got people close to the situation, and the first thing you should do is pull everybody in, separate them, get their stories, and then come back together and see whether the stories match. But this doesn't seem to happen. It's almost like people are, oh, bless them, bless them, bless them. Bless them later when you've covered your arses. That's what I feel. I just feel that in a situation like this, the families should be grilled, and they should understand that because of the situation that's happening around them, that is something that law enforcement need to do. They need to do it. Anyway, I digress. So yes, we've got, which seems to be 11 victims, what they believe are 11 victims around this beach. This place reminds me, when I think about it, you know Dexter, when you see all of them bodies under the water there, that's kind of what I get from this. This place is like a graveyard. But another thing that doesn't sit well with me is when you hear that you've got, obviously they were dismembered, again, Dexter style, but you've got, they find somebody's sort of remains, or some of their remains then, but then it's not until now when you're now starting to get names put to them. We're now getting names, and it makes me think to myself, right, so how much effort did you really put in early doors to name these people, to actually get their identities sorted? Because I don't think, and this is only my opinion, I don't think they put a lot of effort into it. And the likelihood is because of the working of some of these victims, and you know, the fact that some of them were escorts, whatever, that perhaps they weren't given the due diligence that they would have done had they have been, say, someone else. Now again, I could be completely wrong. I just find it very strange that we're now starting to hear names very quickly. Now it's all pushed in the limelight, they've got their suspect, and you know, everybody's all over it like white on rice. And yeah, all of a sudden now they can start naming people, but we're going back like years. Let me know what you think. Do you think that when these bodies were initially found, that enough work and resources were sunk into it in order to obtain an identification? And is it that work that perhaps wasn't done that has delayed this all coming to light and being found? And could, if indeed this Rex is indeed the guy, the monster, the killer, could he have been stopped had law enforcement have perhaps done a little bit more work years ago? Because that's, and again, I'm only just starting to dip my toes into it, guys, so I could be completely wrong, and let me know down below if you think I'm an idiot. There's going to be some of you that think I'm an idiot, I know it. But that's just my initial impressions. My initial impressions are that this case wasn't handled very well early on, and there's been delays caused by a lack of perhaps interest by law enforcement. And yes, I know they've been doing work, but have they been doing enough? Have they sunk enough resources in it? Have they taken it seriously enough? And are we going to see a similar situation in the Oregon case where we've got these women, and are we going to find that that is in fact a lot more people involved in that too? Is that a common practice where they do say that at any one time there are so many active serial killers and so many inactive ones? Seems to be a little bit of a strange thing to be able to have put into a statistic, that to know that you've got active serial killers and inactive ones, but you've got law enforcement that don't seem to be doing anything about it. Let me know down below. What are your thoughts and feelings on this? How many more victims are we going to see? How many is that 11 going to be bumped up to by the end of it? Are we going to double it? Are we going to triple it? Is he going to become, or is this person, if it is indeed not Rex, or if it is Rex, is he going to become one of the most prolific serial killers that this place has ever seen? I'll catch you all in the next one.